take, they will have to live with it.
All right, Mr. Showunmi, you were at the initial meeting.
Yes, I'm always at the meeting.
And Hamzat Al-Mustafa visited the SDP secretariat to hold talks with the party chairman. We have seen the two men move to the SDP, and there are indications that you will also move.
Me? You joke too much. Look, on earth, I am more interested in stability. If I'm not doing PDP, I'm going to be doing APC. Clear. Reason being, at least I can say whatever you say about him in government. At least I tried Bola Tinubu and somebody like Muhammadu Buhari. They had the courage or conviction of staying with their ideology over the years, even when they were losing. I'm not going to join a bunch of people who, every time they lose, they need another platform. And I don't trust the fact that when they even get to that other platform, they may still come short. With all of our best intention, Awolowo did not win a presidential election in this country. Did that deprive him from being a progressive? Did he get up the next day in the morning and say he's going to join MPN? People must understand, for us to be able to build sustainable development, even for the economy, you need sustainable ideologies of political party. The Democratic Party in America is 190-something years old. The Communist Party in China is 104 years old. What's wrong with this man? You need to build to last.
Mr. Showunmi, my worry is you just talked about people need to stay with their convictions and you don't believe in moving around. You talked about El-Rufai, and he's one of the key leaders, promoters of the coalition.
With due respect, Nasiru is the bravest of them all.
People say only complaints when
forget about that.
His bread is not butter.
What people say is irrelevant. He is the bravest of them all. At least he had the capacity to say, okay, I'm not being treated well. When the shoe was on the other leg and people perceived that President Tinubu was not being treated well by the Buhari government, at least Nasiru had the discipline and the sense to go to the then president to say, no, we can't treat him like this. And I can tell you because I'm an insider and I know, the then President Muhammadu Buhari then dispatched the Vice President of Shibaju and Nasiru to go and plead with President Bola Tinubu in London, who has pleaded with Nasiru. And if he says he's out, he has gone through the process of saying, I'll check with this, I'll check with this, I'll check with this, and he has said, I am out. That is his right.
All right. Professor Kila, would you like to respond to Mr. Showunmi before I ask you my next question?
Well, I mean, go ahead, I can wrap it. I think Chief Showunmi did not hear me well. There must be an audio problem because there was no argument between me and I. I don't know why I think to rule out. What I said is a very simple thing, that a viable opposition party needs to have a set of policy, they need to have a viable vessel, and they need to have a viable figure to present.
We will have that.
Those three elements are universal and fundamental. I do not know, I do not see any point of argument on that at all. But go ahead with your question.
All right. Most of the momentum generated ahead of the election no longer translates to an impressive turnout of registered voters. Help us connect the dots as to why the numbers of voters has been on a steady decline.
Thank you for that question.
Well, it is apathy. I mean, why would you go dancing where the music is bad? Why would you go to a restaurant where the food is not good? If the essence of voting is defeated by the delivery of governance and the process is not trusted by the citizens, there's no reason for them to go. I mean, and I must say this, I have an unpopular view. Actually, contrary to most people, I am not one of...
Prof, are you there? We seem to have lost that connection.
Okay, come here. Now, why are people not coming out? Yeah. That's why I created the alternative. I sat back and I looked at the numbers. 4 things bothered me. 1, why are they always unhappy with the people they've elected? They're not happy with Bola Tinubu, but they elected him. Why they weren't happy with Buhari. They didn't seem to be happy with Jonathan. Why is this? Why are they not even turning out? Have the people forgotten that the only fundamental right that they have is to choose their leader on election day? Why are they not even turning up? Okay, why is the conversation of leadership in the country beginning to assume tribal dimension? Why must everything Bola Tinubu do be wrong because you are not a Yoruba man? Why must everything he does be right because you're a Yoruba man? Why is the conversation, the ganging of even now is beginning to look like some people are sitting in the north and assuming that just because they are northerners, that has given them the right to say, oh, without even letting us into their own policy. These were the things that were bothering me. And you know what? Just like Marcio, I had the presence of mind and the courage to go to the people and say, let's start this dialogue again. Let's beg them. Don't give up. Nations take time to build. Some of the fancy nations we love too, it took them time to build. What do you want? What kind of leaders are you looking for? If we bring you leaders and you're not happy, why not tell us the leaders you want? Let's listen to you. Let's be partners. Can't you even begin to see yourself like a leader, maybe as a counselor? These are the kinds of things that sensible leaders do. Not come and say the idea of their intellectual is to keep saying that every time an election is coming around the circle, the strategy must be start a new party. The strategy must be say you are coalizing. The strategy must be angry and be bitter and be doing vengeance. The strategy must be don't look at the policy of even your rival. Accept the one that you think is right and say, okay, the one that you think is wrong, be firm on it. Why would anybody that is a leader in the country expect that any president worth his salt will allow that chaos going on in Rivers to continue without some kind of hammer? And if he restrained himself until the Supreme Court gave him the leeway, okay, I don't accept that 305 should not be tested in the court. But up till today, that 305 is so flexible because it doesn't want to hem in a president and prevent him from being able to take decision. The presidency and democracy is not a weak system. It is only the men who don't have strength of character and who don't have enough intellect that think that the anger of the mob is the basis by which leaders take decisions. That's not correct. And that's the kind of alternative that I have. So I'm very sure Nigerians, keep faith with your beloved PDP. Crises and all of the things you see are the attitude of our people. We will continue to beg them for evolution and revolution. If not so, why is the crisis in NNPP? Didn't they just start it yesterday? Why is the crisis in Labour? Didn't Peter just run there now? And all of them, they are our children. We are the University of Politics in Nigeria.
I like the
when you graduate, you cannot destroy your alma mater.
Well, it's interesting the confidence that you're displaying. But let's hear from Professor Killer. Just finish up before we let you go.
I'm actually going to use a minute to ask Chief Showunmi a question publicly.
Go ahead.
My understanding is that he believes that a coalition is not needed and the PDP is a viable option. Let me ask him to explain to us, like a little child, why he did not call his platform PDP Revamp or PDP. Why he gave it another name? Why did he not use the brand PDP?
I'll answer you.
Just educate the public on that.
I'll answer you. The reason why I called it the alternative is that I didn't want people that are not in PDP not to also be willing to engage in the conversation. Because we're talking about the election.
Because the PDP is not
talking. No, with due respect, please. You have to let me answer. The PDP is not the only person on election day. We're looking at why are people not coming out. We're looking at why are they selling and buying their vote. With due respect, we are looking at why they're selling and buying their vote. We're looking at why the conversation is so tribal. We're looking at what type of leaders do like. The only way to have that conversation, Mr., is to make it slightly open for other people to consider the conversation.
All right, gentlemen. Gentlemen.
Killer does not belong to political parties. Killer, go back to the university. You don't belong to politics.
Well, we must thank you so much for your time with us on the program, Segun Showunmi. It was nice talking to you. And Professor Anthony Killer, thank you so much for your time with us on the